Hello, Ducks fans. My name is Carter. Welcome to the Quack Report. I'm joined by Nate Thomas, as always. How's it going, bud?
I am tired.
You're tired?
to put it bluntly, I am tired. So consisted of Thursday night, Shane Stevenson and I that we had on the show here a few months back. We drove up to Calgary from Lethbridge here, which is only about like 2-hour drive at most. We went up to Calgary for game 2 of the Calgary Dallas series to hang out in the red lot. So they're doing like the watch along outside in the parking lot there, right? For those who are a little underfunded to go inside the building itself, right? We'll just hang outside and still drink ridiculously expensive beer and whatnot.
Do they just have like a massive screen out there, like a?
Yeah, it is.
Big,
so they have,
like,
they had
like
a movie theater style screen out there with a Budweiser red light that was about as big as the screen. Unfortunately, it never went off because the Flames got shut out that game. There is like the first 5 minutes, Johnny Gaudreau had scored.
Sorry, the first I was a little late on that.
No worries. It was like in the first 5 minutes, Johnny Gaudreau had scored, but it was called offside right away. So everyone was like, "Yeah," and then fuck. So yeah, I never got to see the light go off, unfortunately. But and then there was like a stage beside it, and they had like some food stuff out there, and a lot of different like booze places for different things and whatnot. So, but it was a lot of fun though. I got to meet up with some people I hadn't seen in a little while, and got recognized by a couple other people and stuff like that. Met people that I hadn't met yet. So it was a lot of fun. But we didn't get back.
Actually, I saw you on Twitter. I think Flames Nation posted a video, and then Shane had retweeted it. And,
I was hanging out with
you were
a few
in there
of the
like
Flames,
right at the end.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a few of the Flames Nations guys. Shane's obviously there as well. Princey and Noah Adler were there, so we were kind of hanging out. And then I just kind of was the tag along there pretty much. So the not even an honorary member, I was just there. So I was the ride for Shane pretty much. We'll put it that way. But we didn't get back home till like maybe 2 a.m. or that, and then. I hadn't really ate that day, so I'm like, okay, I need to actually have some food or that. So I didn't really fall asleep until like 3 a.m. And then I got up early for my first day at my job for the summer, which went really well. But I was like, I woke up at like 7:30, so I'm running on like 4.5 hours of sleep maybe, and driving like a half hour out of town to go to my job and whatnot. And then, then the next morning, so Saturday. I was reffing lacrosse all day yesterday. So I woke up at 6 to drive out of town to be somewhere for 7:30 to start reffing at 8 o'clock. And my last game ended at a little after 4. So I put in like a full work day pretty much reffing. And then drove back into town. Girlfriend and I went to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I'm not doing any spoilers, but holy fuck, like it was really good. I enjoyed it actually.
We actually have to. I forgot you went to see it, so we got to talk about that off air.
Yeah, we do for sure. And then came home, watched the rest of Game 3 of Calgary and Dallas. I haven't yelled that much at my TV about the Flames this entire season. Actually, it was just really frustrating. I've definitely yelled that much at my TV though about the Ducks this season, and primarily Dallas Eakins, if to nobody's surprise here. It's just like a lot of early mornings and whatnot with like a couple late nights in there. So I was like kind of able to sleep in a little bit relative today. I think I woke up at like 8 o'clock or that. I drove 2 hours back home then, back to like our hometown to spend some time for Mother's Day with my family and that kind of thing. And then came back here, had dinner with my grandma for Mother's Day and that, and now we're doing this. So it's been go for me for the last little while, like especially after finishing school. So
I'm going to debut a new segment here for a second. So just bear with me.
Is it like how long I talk about what's going on with me?
No, it's not. So I know this is a bulletin board, but this is going to be my clipboard here for a second. And
am I in therapy?
I just want you to get comfortable. Yeah, you are.
Okay, good. Because
are you comfortable right now?
I'm comfortable. I saw a thing actually that was like, guys will not go to therapy, but they'll talk about hockey for hours. So here we are, everybody. Welcome to the Quack Report. This is actually your therapy session, just not therapy. I'm not a registered therapist whatsoever. So please don't take any of my advice seriously.
No. You're the
Oh, I'm the patient. Okay, you're the
I guess.
therapist. Okay, definitely
Yeah.
don't take
So-
any of Carter's advice seriously then.
No, absolutely not. Do I look like it? You should be. I'm literally holding a bulletin board and I'm wearing socks and pajamas right now. So you definitely shouldn't. But
Literally be the chillest
I got some.
therapist ever.
I feel like I need like a toothpick hanging out of my mouth or something. I know that that's like a farmer thing, not a therapist thing, but just like how I'm sitting right now. So, Nate, I think from what you're telling me and with the notes that I've been taking as you were talking here on my massive clipboard,
Yes,
I think I've figured out how to make you less tired and make your life just a little bit easier.
Oh God, what's that? What's that?
So just hear me out. I think you need to not leave town so much because you work out of town, you go to events out of town, your family's out of town. I really think that you just gotta get everybody and everything you want to do into Lethbridge. Buy the Calgary Flames, relocate them to Lethbridge, buy a house, maybe multiple houses for your family, move them to Lethbridge, and then relocate your place of work. No big deal. It's only like a historical site, but relocate it to Lethbridge. To Lethbridge. And then you know what? That saves like you did 2 hours to Calgary. Yeah. Well, actually 4 hours to Calgary and back, 4 hours to our hometown and back. So that's another 8 hours. I've already ran out of fingers. You drove 2 hours to do some reffing approximately.
I guess it's about an hour. It was only Tabor, so it's about a half an hour each.
Yeah, but there and back. So
okay,
an hour. Yeah. We'll say hour. Okay, yeah.
So we're at 9 hours.
So that's 9 hours. And then hour there and back to your place of work on Friday?
I think it's I timed it out at one point. I think it's 20 minutes or a half an hour from my doorstep, to the like front door of my work. Fun fact, It's the shortest long trip ever. It's 5 turns and then 35 kilometers straight.
Yeah. So I'm no mathematician. I'm an accountant, but that's not a mathematician. And
it's close enough.
It's pretty basically
having just struggled through an accounting class, it's close enough.
Yeah. You did 10 hours of driving over the last 4 days.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even include any other intermediate. Yeah. Man, like your poor bank account with the price of gas. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's probably only a tank of gas for you, maybe 2.
It was like 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the drive today took about half the tank. So,
drive less.
Yeah, drive less.
Is my opinion.
Luckily, I enjoy driving, so it's not too big of an issue for me. I'll throw on any podcast that's not the Quack Report, pretty much, and just listen to that.
Yeah, those guys suck.
Yeah, it's right. Just a bunch of nobodies who don't know what the fuck they're talking about whatsoever. So, especially when it comes to the legend Dallas Eakins.
I don't know. I hear they give pretty good advice, though. It's like free therapy, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So they tell you not to drive, or they tell you not to drive less. They tell you to drive more, actually, so that you can listen to them more.
Yeah.
Or do whatever else you do when you listen to podcasts. I'd actually be kind of curious to know what people do when they listen to us, to be honest.
You know what? Well, yeah.
I feel like I'd want to know most of the answers, but I also feel like maybe I don't want to know. Like,
there's probably a few that would be weird, but yeah, I don't know. Personally, I listen to podcasts in the shower, like besides driving, obviously, because that's like what normal people do. But the other time I listen to podcasts because I don't drive enough to get through all my podcasts, is I listen to them in the shower. So
yeah, like I'll listen to them driving. If they have video, I'll try to watch them actually. But otherwise I'm listening to it driving, but especially if I'm going to the gym, like that's normally my 32 Thoughts or Jeff Merrick show, is I'll listen to it going to the gym, and then I just pop in my my headphones as I'm leaving my car, and it just keeps going as I go and like get changed and get up to the thing, and then I turn on my music, and then when I'm leaving, I throw it back on as well, and then it transfers to the car and whatnot. So like I can get through like a half hour, 40-minute episode with the commute and getting changed and everything like that. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's solid.
So what about you? How are you? I guess we had a whole therapy session for me, apparently.
Yeah, that's good. Please note that the Quack Report is not a substitute for therapy for anybody that's listening.
Definitely not.
We might be we might be close, but not a true substitute. Yeah, no, I've been good. I mean, people are probably familiar, at least longtime watchers of the podcast are probably familiar with the background of my childhood bedroom now.
I mean, it's a little bit different colors. I think we've had one episode of you in like this color of room, but it is a little bit different now. It's
That's
a lot
true.
less Oilersy, which makes me really happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it made for an interesting podcast when there was like a big Oilers logo where
Yeah.
I guess from this side where that Tigers jersey is now, there's
Yeah.
just a massive one on the wall. But yeah, it was for sure a watch along that we had done. That I'd done here, but I can't remember if we also did an episode.
I think we did an episode. I could be wrong though.
No, I think you're right.
We've done so much. We're almost at 200 episodes actually, which is still wild for me to think about, but
absolutely wild. Yeah. So yeah, I came back home from Mother's Day. I'm still here, obviously. But yeah, I've only done 2 hours of driving this weekend.
There
so
you go.
I guess 10 divided by 2, 5. I am 1/5 as exhausted as you.
Fair enough.
That's how math and
Totally.
emotions work, right?
Totally. Yeah, it's for me. Yeah, for me, it's not even the driving. It's just I don't like waking up in the morning to alarms. If I wake up on my own in the morning, I can just get going and do whatever. It's waking up to alarms and I'm like super groggy and everything like that. So
yeah. Have you ever tried? I'm not saying that they work, but have you ever tried like those ones that they like listen to you? It's like an app and it listens to you while you sleep and like tracks like your sleep patterns, and then you just give it like a half hour or 45-minute window.
The one that
to wake
tells
you up.
the one that tells you like what you say in your sleep if you talk in your sleep.
Yeah, like there's those ones too, where they record like your snoring and stuff like that. Yeah,
I haven't tried that before. That'd be interesting.
Okay.
Though.
Yeah, no, I've tried them, and I find that they don't really work for me personally. I mean, maybe they help a little bit, but I don't know. I still hate getting out of bed in the morning, anyways. So
yeah, that's right.
Really
Yeah,
matter,
you suck in the mornings. Having lived with you for 3
do.
years and like staying over that, like when we were in high school or whatnot. Yeah, you suck in the mornings.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like you just give it like say you need to be up by like 7:30 at the latest. You're like, okay, wake me up between 7 and 7:30, and it's like follows your natural sleep progression. So when you're like in the least deep sleep phase, whatever that is, then it starts to like wake you up, and it's supposed to like make it so you don't feel so groggy in the morning. Yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
There's apparently science to back it up, but yeah, like I said, it doesn't work for me, but because you're a bit more of a lighter sleeper and you tend to get up better in the mornings, it might work. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I was just curious if you'd tried them, but
yeah, that's fair. And I guess kind of on the therapy thing, yeah, we are definitely not licensed therapists whatsoever. But something that is very therapeutic, I have found in the past, is online shopping. And a great place to online shop actually is at tqrshop.myspreadshop.com, where you can get like awesome water bottles like this one and stuff like that. So yeah, if you need a little bit of retail therapy, head over to, again, tqrshop.myspreadshop.com. Did you like that? Did you like that?
That was awesome. That was very good. Yeah.
Oh man. And you know what else is awesome?
What?
We got another ELC signing.
Yeah.
I'm doing the segment.
It's a good one too.
I'm doing the segment.
Yeah,
today.
you're hitting it.
I don't know. Do you just want me to go for it now?
Yeah, you're
kind of taking over, I guess.
Yeah.
So the Ducks have signed goaltender Kelly Klang to a 3-year entry-level contract that begins next season, the 22-23 season. Kelly Klang, of course, was part of the trade that sent Rickard Rakell to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Zach Aston Reese, Dominic Simone, a second-round selection in the upcoming NHL draft, as well as Kelly Klang himself. Klang himself recently was playing in the SHL, the Swedish Hockey League, and helped his team Rogel win the Champions Hockey League this year, actually posting a 5-1-0
nice.
record in the competition. And his regular season stats in the SHL in 17 games went 10-5-0 with a shutout, a 2.28 goals against average, and a 915 save percentage. Not bad for a 19-year-old in a league, in like the top league in Sweden.
In a men's league.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a junior league, a men's league.
And we were talking a couple weeks ago, right? Like of who we were a little bit more like who could have a bit more potential between Klang and prospect out of Kootenay. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's his name?
but that's part why I said Klang, right? Is because like he's been playing with men now. I think for this is his second season in the SHL, right? So he's got that experience, right? Like taking those kind of shots and that style and speed of play, right? Which it's very different from junior hockey, for sure. So Cali Klang was drafted by Pittsburgh in the 3rd round, 77th overall in the 2020 NHL draft, and he was actually named hockey oh god, I'm gonna butcher this. I apologize to anybody who's Swedish. Hockey Allsvenskan. I hope I'm saying that right. It's Swedish. It's Sweden's 2nd division. Best junior in 2021, appearing in 32 games, posting a 13-19-0 record. It says here with a 246 goals against and a 919 save percentage. So the record is not necessarily a reflection on his play, right? It's the save percentage and that sort of thing there. So and I'm hoping that we get to see a little bit more of Klang with I guess it's not really North American ice. It's kind of a midway point, I guess, with the World Juniors. Is it normally? It's not Olympic. It's not Olympic size ice normally. I'm trying to remember, honestly.
No. Well, it depends on where they play, right? Because like if they're playing in Edmonton like they are, then it's NHL sized ice. But I think when they play overseas, they play on international.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, so he was on Sweden's roster for 2021 as well as 2022. So I'm hoping he comes back to that roster this year. It'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to see him get a shot.
Yeah, see a little bit more of him, and potentially, if he comes over to San Diego this year, right? That'll be a nice little window before he makes the jump over here. He also helped Sweden earn medals at the 2019 World U18 Championship, where they got a gold, and the 2019 U17 Hockey Challenge, where Sweden got bronze. So he's got some hardware already in his trophy case there. So he's looking to come to Anaheim and help deliver some more hardware. So hopefully a Stanley Cup in the future. So.
Yeah, hopefully. That prospect in Winnipeg you were talking about is Gage Alexander.
Yes.
That's who we were talking about. Was that? I think it was last week.
It was a couple weeks ago.
Or a couple weeks ago.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. But yeah, you're right. We were talking about those two. Yeah, I totally forgot about that actually. So, yeah, no, great signing. Good to lock him up. I doubt we'll see him next year, like, barring like significant injuries to our goaltending. But I definitely expect to see him, 2-3 years down the line, kind of like on the back end of this contract. So,
do you mean like in Anaheim or in San Diego, or like in North America
Anaheim.
at least? In Anaheim? Oh, okay.
In Anaheim, yeah.
Because
he'll play next year in San Diego, probably, right?
Yeah, I think I'm not really sure. I'm kind of
if he's only 19, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's also not. He would be able to, right, because of the CHL. Like he's not part of those CHL rules and that kind of thing that we were talking about last episode. So he'd be able to do that.
I just mean like I don't know if the Gulls themselves would bring in a 19-year-old goaltender just to sit on the bench. I guess he'll be 20 next year, but like given the goaltenders that we do have in the system, like I think it would be more beneficial to give him another year in Sweden, and then potentially bring him over in 2 years to play in the AHL.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to compare it to another European goalie in the system, and Lucas Dostal, who's only 21, he's about to turn 22 next month. It wouldn't be too far off of like that kind of projection, right? Or that kind of trajectory. in terms of like how he's coming in or that. I know it's raised a couple of questions on social media of, okay, we're bringing in another pretty decent looking goalie prospect, like, which that's awesome. That happens all the time, but it's like, okay, we're really starting to stock up again on our goaltenders.
Mm-hmm.
And it's starting to raise some questions, which we already had some potentially on John Gibson this summer, or even Anthony Stolarz, right? Is somebody potentially getting moved here to make room for some of these guys? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I personally don't think we're going to be seeing a John Gibson move this year. If he does, feel free to come back to this episode, grab that little screenshot and blast me on social media for it. I have no issue with that. I don't think it's going to be happening though. John Gibson is just such an integral part to this team. And I don't really know, unless you're like certain that Dostal can do it next year, right? Like do like a tandem of Stolarz and Dostal next year. I don't think you're risking that, honestly.
No,
unless you're getting a goalie in
proof,
return,
right?
Yeah, there's not enough proof yet. So
if Stolarz had come in and played 20 games this season and we kind of knew what we were getting from him, then like, okay, maybe we could see him in a starting role. But we've seen him he started like 2 games, I think, this season.
Oh, Dostal. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Stolarz. I'm like, he started a lot more than 2 games.
No. Yeah, no, Dostal. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I said Stolarz, I apologize. But yeah, Dostal.
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3. I'm just trying to double check here, actually.
Yeah, but like, yeah, you just don't know what you're getting with him. And like, I'm not concerned about us stocking up on goalies. Like, at the age that they are, like, it's a coin flip of if they're going to be an NHL caliber goalie or not. Like it's just too early to tell. So like, this is what a lot of teams do is they stock up on the goaltending prospects because when these guys are going to be ready in likely, we'll say 5 years minimum, John Gibson is going to be kind of on the downward trend. Well, no, I guess because he's only 25, isn't he? Gibson 26.
It's 28, I believe.
Is he? Damn.
Yeah.
You know what?
Because remember,
I was thinking back to like when we first started, right? And I was like, oh yeah, when we first started, he was like 25, 26. And then in my mind, he's like Ash from Pokemon, just like doesn't age.
He doesn't age.
Or like Bart Simpson. It's just like you're always the same age.
July 14th, 1993. So he is 28 years old. In 2 months, he'll be 29. So yeah, remember he was part of that Team North America team that was under 23, right? So. And that was in 2016, which was 6 years ago now.
Okay, yeah.
So
so that makes sense. Yeah, so like when these guys are just entering their prime, 24, 25, John Gibson's going to be 33 years old. So it's kind of that perfect transition point. Like, okay, we are having to rely less on John Gibson. And I mean, it's still very possible he could be a stud at 33. I'm not saying he's like kick him to the curb. You're 33 year old.
I mean, the Vezina winner is like nearing his 40s, like right.
Yeah,
the current Vezina winner. So, which fun fact that jersey is supposed to be in this week for me. Woo! I'm excited for that.
That's good. But that might be the point where, John Gibson can't handle 60, 70 games in a season anymore. So it's like, okay, I can only play 40. Otherwise, I'm either too tired for the playoffs or I get injured. So we need someone else. Oh, look we've got this nice young goalie in Lucas Dostal or Callie Klang or Gage Alexander that can come in and play the other 40 games.
Man, the Ducks scouting does not miss very often on goaltenders over the last
absolutely not.
Almost the entire duration of the club's existence, right? Like think of how lucky the Ducks have gotten just in the 21st century alone. We'll take out like the first. I am getting a call. My bad. There we go. I'll have to text him here in a second and say I'll call back later. What was I saying now? Oh yeah, we'll take out like the 90s for the Ducks, right? And like we'll just go from say like 2000 on, right? J.S. Zegras traded to the Anaheim Ducks from the Calgary Flames. So we have Zegras for quite a while, right? Yeah. And then you bring in I'm trying to I hope I have this right in my head, kind of timeline and whatnot. Then you bring in this young guy by the name of Jonas Hiller. Does fairly well for the Ducks for a number of years. And then you get lucky with not one, but two young goalies who are playing really awesome and fighting Hiller for spots so much that you have to move Hiller to the Calgary Flames as well as a thank you to J.S. Jaguar. And then you even have to choose between those two. Like who are you going to keep around? Because that's the time still of starters and backups, right? And you're not making one of those guys a backup goaltender. So you ship out Freddie Anderson, keeping John Gibson with you at a very young age, proving that he can start like being a starting goaltender in the NHL, which again, like your prime and when goalies are normally starting to enter the league is like mid to later 20s. So Gibson like has years above some of his peers that are this like around the same age as him, right? Like the Ducks have not missed over the last while with goaltenders they're bringing in, like they're scouting or they're drafting or that kind of thing. So it's been as a goalie enjoyer myself, it's very pleasing to see. So these kind of moves of like Gage Alexander, trading for a great prospect in Callie Klang, a great goaltender in Lucas Dostal, drafting him, right? Like this is just it's very nice to see. So
yeah, for sure. I just looked up the Ducks goalie timeline to see if you missed anybody, and generally like you hit like all the big ones anyways. So
sweet.
So nicely done. But I was just taking a look, and in 2013-14, we had 4 goalies play. Jonas Hiller and Freddie Anderson obviously were the 2. But they only played 78 games. Is that right? Yeah, 78. So there's still
4 games,
4 games unaccounted for, but it doesn't add up because goalies get pulled and stuff like that. So so one goalie played 5 games for us, and another goalie played 3 games in that series. So in addition to having Hiller and Anderson, we also had Victor Fast and John Gibson play games for us that season.
Jeez.
And
Victor Fast kind of went around a couple different teams as well in his career, but like
he did, yeah.
Still was a guy that was able to get NHL playtime, right? I'm just trying to pull up his stats actually. Here we go.
That 13-14 season, didn't the Ducks just like go off? Wasn't that like a solid year for the Ducks?
I know it was a good year for scoring for sure.
It was a good year for Ducks scoring too. They had a 54-20-8 record, 116 points, finished first in the Pacific Division.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, Victor Foss actually wasn't around as long as I thought he was. Okay. No? 25 games in the 12-13 season with Anaheim, 5 games in the 13-14, then goes to Edmonton in the for the 13-14 season. Presumably at the trade deadline, plays 7 games there. And then the 14-15 season, which led to the Oilers getting Connor McDavid, played 16 games, started 24 of those, had a 6-15-3 record. And actually not even a career low save percentage of 0.888. His career low was in those 5 games the season before with Anaheim at 0.85. So I guess the season together, because it's an 8.85, and then in Edmonton at 9.14 in those 7 games.
Oh, okay.
So where he had a lot more of an even record, but obviously a lot smaller sample size of a 3-3-1 record in 7 games. So
yeah. I also just wanted to shout out the Ducks goaltenders for 15-16. We had Freddie Anderson, John Gibson, and Anton Hudobin.
Right. I forgot Hudobin was in Anaheim for a bit.
Yeah.
Because like I primarily remember him from like Boston, Carolina, and Dallas, obviously. That's where I primarily remember him from.
Yeah, so. He played 9 games for us. That's it. A 3-3 record. 2.69 goals against average, and 909 save percentage, 1 shutout. So like fairly average numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, only those 9 games. Could you imagine if we kept him around? Jesus.
See, like he just popped off really, I think, at the right time. He was primarily a backup goalie, but he just popped off at the right time for Dallas that year.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, that's the Ducks goaltending rabbit hole we fall down every couple months, it seems. Let's jump ahead and talk about Mason McTavish.
He's been popping
a guy
off
that you
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you said off air you're super excited to see him in
Yeah.
Ducks uniform in the very near future. But as of right now, he's in a Hamilton Bulldogs uniform, and he's just casually put up 12 points in 6 games in the
Just
OHL
it's
playoffs.
nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah,
It's
I believe
nothing.
eight goals. Yeah, 8 goals, 4 assists in that time, as well as 14 penalty minutes. So, he's doing it all. Just doing it
He
all.
is the all-round player.
Yeah. he he is the Hamilton Bulldogs.
And remember, he got traded to Hamilton this season too, because they're making a
Yeah.
push for the Memorial Cup, right? The national championship in Canada here.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, they're currently in the second round. They swept whoever they played
jeez.
in the first round. Um, where is it here? PBO. Who's that? Oh, Peterborough.
Yeah,
Isn't that where
Peterborough.
it came from? Peterborough?
Yeah, it is. Peterborough Pete's. Yep. 100% is
Okay,
where
yeah,
it came
so
from.
that's hilarious. Oh no, wait, they didn't. Oh wait. Oh no, I'm reading it wrong because they switched the home and away, obviously,
Yep.
at game 3. So yeah, it wasn't even close. 5-2, 5-2, 7-2, 7-3.
Oh geez. Now imagine being Peterborough. You're like, yeah, we're not really probably gonna do much. We have this great prospect. We can get some stuff back. Or not a great prospect, sorry, like this great player who's a prospect to the NHL
Yeah.
already and whatnot. And we're gonna trade him here. And then you make the playoffs, kind of maybe by accident, and you go, shit, we gotta play the guy that we just traded. And we know
Yeah.
he's gonna kick our ass alone. Like, let
Yeah.
alone the rest of the team.
Yeah, right. I think that if I recall correctly, like the Petes were like the last seed, and Hamilton or not Hamilton.
Just got in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it is Hamilton. Sorry. No, this is what I want. I don't want the brackets. I want the regular season. Oh yeah, Hamilton was very first in the whole league. They had 107. They had 107 points. The next closest team had 95.
Oh my god.
So and Peterborough squeaked in with 64 points. So like it's not even close. Like they had a losing record.
So how many games does like the OHL play? Like how at the end of the season, how many did Hamilton have?
68.
68. So Mason McTavish only played 24 of those games for the Hamilton Bulldogs, where he put up 40 points.
Jesus.
And then he only played 5 for Peterborough before that. And then he was splitting time between Anaheim, San Diego, the World Junior Canada team, and the Olympic Canada team.
Yeah. He's a busy guy.
Very busy guy. So, and hopefully starting next year, he's consistently wearing just one jersey. So,
yeah, that would be nice for sure.
Would be nice.
So, yeah, we'll continue to follow them because I think we'll have a lot to talk about Bulldogs wise. I think they're currently up 2-0 against Mississauga, I think is who they're playing in the second round. Yes, the Mississauga Steelheads. Yeah, they're up 2-0. Game Tuesday, then Friday. So honestly, wouldn't be surprised if that was a sweep too. Both of those games were 4-2 finals for Hamilton. So yeah, that's we'll hopefully have a lot more points to talk about. But yeah, very good stuff.
I was gonna say before we talk about sweeps, do we want to give a shout out to our friends at DraftKings?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I keep running out of time. Another live ad read, or I guess as close to live as Sunday coming on Monday episodes are. So, hockey fans, the pursuit for the Stanley Cup is on, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has an unbelievable offer for the most exciting playoffs in sports. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $100 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. It's the equivalent of like your Starbucks coffee that has way too much caramel drizzle on top of it. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during the playoffs? With DraftKings same game parlays, you can do just that. There you go. I didn't mess it up that time. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets, like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more. It's your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. And best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code THPN. Bet just $5 on any NHL team to win and get $100 in free bets no matter what. Again, that's code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
I think it's hilarious that the part that tripped you up most was 3 letters. NHL.
Right? And I don't know why it did. I feel like we've been talking about all these different leagues, the SHL, the OHL, the WHL, and I'm just like, did I say NH? Like NHL?
Yeah.
But I got the rest of it. I got the
you
rest
can
of
bet on the with DraftKings, you can bet on the KMJHL. That's
I kind
it.
of wonder
That's
if
the
you
only one.
can actually. Or the QMJHL, I think you mean. He said K.
Did I say K? In my mind, I was thinking both KHL and the Q. So yeah, I probably
I was
did
gonna
say
say
K.
like the Continental Major Junior Hockey League. I'm kind of curious if that's a thing now, actually. KMJHL.
Is that what the K stands for in KHL?
Continental, yeah.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. I always just assumed it was like how they say Russia in Russian.
No, Continental Hockey League. So because it does almost span an entire continent, right? Because you have
I guess
you have a team in China, obviously the majority in Russia, Belarus and Kazakhstan, and you did have one in where were they from? I can think of the team, but there's a team that just left due to the war going on in the Ukraine right now. So
okay.
I forget who the team was off the top of my head and where they were, but very close proximity. So, but so yeah, they do span like literally the continent of a good chunk of Asia. So
yeah, with DraftKings, you can actually bet on the Swedish league.
oh, sweet.
Yeah, it just looks like that one in the NHL. But I mean, yeah, Swede man.
Oh man.
So
all right,
no, that's cool. I never bothered to look if you could because like I don't know enough about those leagues to
try
to bet on them. But yeah,
that's fair.
That's cool.
I feel like you'd have to do it like midway through the season, and you can like take a look at the standings and stuff like that. You have a better idea.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, so I was using for my just going off with the segues here on this episode, talking about sweeps. Does Colorado sweep Nashville tomorrow night, like Monday night? They're up 3-0 in the series.
I mean, I still never like predicting sweeps, but like if you look at it as just one game, like, oh, Colorado's playing Nashville, like odds are like I'm not putting money down on Nashville, you know?
Like Thanos is looking at this game and going, now that is inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me if Nashville was like, we're not getting swept, you know? And Connor Ingram's been pretty solid for them.
He's been great for Nashville. Absolutely.
So if they were to win, it would be because he steals them the game. It's just whenever he's putting on a phenomenal effort, it seems that Nashville just like can't get him a goal, you know? Like there was that 2-1 game, like where he let in one goal like early in the first and then made like, 40 some straight saves to get them to overtime. And then like that's the one game I feel like Nashville could have won and they didn't. So you know what? I am actually going to say that they had their one chance to win the one game and they blew it.
I think so.
And now the Avalanche are like, okay, we gave them one. We tried. We tried. We went to overtime, and then McKinnon or Makar, whoever scored the goal, was like, you know what? I'm hungry. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. I just want to read off the scores for the 3 games so far. 7-2 for game 1. 2-1 in overtime for game 2. and then 7-3 for game 3.
Yeah.
Like, I'm no mathematician, but I'm pretty sure that 7 plus 2 equals 9, plus another
Yes.
7 is 14. No,
Close.
I'm yeah, I was thinking 7 plus 7 is 14, 16. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I am tired, like I said.
You got there.
But
Yeah.
16 goals in 3 games. I know we're talking about the Colorado Avalanche here, but sheesh.
Yeah. I'm
That's a
just
lot of
curious.
scoring.
You know, if if you want, the over for this game on DraftKings Sportsbook for Colorado Nashville is only set at 6.5.
Oh, that
And the odds are minus
oh.
115. The odds are minus 115, let me say. So like if I'm thinking of this right, you put down 115, you get 100 back, or 215 back technically. So not great, but
So it's actually
it's
it's in favor technically of scoring more than 7 goals. Like for
yeah.
the entire game, like Nashville and Colorado combined.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, because the under
Now, okay,
is
now what yeah,
set
what's
at
the under?
minus 105. The under 6.5 is minus 105. Oh
Oh,
wait,
so
no.
they're
So they're pretty similar. So actually the
okay.
favorite is
The favorite's still the over because it's
oh yeah, sorry.
yeah.
The minuses really screw me up. Like I really have to like sit down with like a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet and be like, what the fuck's going on here?
Oh, see, like it's the minuses that I just like put in a dollar amount and just see like what the return would be. So it's like, oh, okay, I put $1
Yeah.
here. Oh, okay, it only bumps it up by like 80 cents. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean like in all the other series, it's like there's like a clear favorite, like a plus 100 and like a minus 120, but in that one it's like, you know what? It could go either way.
yeah, exactly. I don't
But
know
yeah,
what other
I just thought it was interesting that the over was set at 6.5 because like Colorado could do that by themselves.
yeah. So I thought stupid me. I thought the Hurricanes were actually up 3-0 in the series. I didn't really realize that Boston won game 3 and now won game 4 today.
Mm-hmm.
So that series is tied at 2. So that's a lot closer than I thought it was. I put down,
Yeah,
I was like, well, the Hurricanes are going to sweep today. I put that down, lost that bet by like 1 in the afternoon for like our time. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But then I was like I saw it like tied 2-2. And I was like, I think the NHL app has it wrong. And then I'm like, oh, no, I have it wrong. Okay. I thought they were up 3-0.
yeah, you very much do. That surprised me. I honestly thought Carolina was going to run away with this series, especially given
I
like
was
their
thinking
regular season
5.
track record and already being up 2-0.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking,
Yeah, I was thinking 5 too. Yeah.
5. So.
Yeah,
But
if
I mean,
not 4, but it's
it
it's
is
going
the
to 6
Bruins.
now.
Yeah, it is the Bruins, right? So like they're not gonna go quietly by any means. So that'll
No,
definitely be
definitely
a
not.
series still to watch. St.
Mhm.
Louis and Minnesota are now tied at 2 as well after the Blues won today 5-2. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's been like when I've been able to catch clips of that game or that series, that's been fun. As
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
That's like you want to talk about Western Conference style hockey of like big body but high skill. It's 100% those two teams, I think.
That is like a Western Conference general manager's wet dream right there.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
those two teams going
But
at it.
every general manager is watching this series as well because they're like Minnesota is about to be cap crunched. And
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of players that could potentially get swung our way kind of deal. So like guys like Kevin
Mhm. Yeah.
Fiala and like
Yeah.
you're looking
That's the big
around
one, I
here
think.
like GMs are licking their chops looking at the
Yeah.
Minnesota Wild's roster
They
because the
yeah.
Suter and Parise buyouts get like massively jumped next year. I believe it's 12 million each, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just gonna double check that on Cap Friendly right now. But and then that's I think for the 1 year, and then it bumps up again to 14 each. I'm just gonna double check that here. I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah. I don't remember what it is, but it's big numbers anyways.
Sorry, not each. My apologies. But next year it jumps to combined 12.7 million. And then the year after that, for the next 2 years, so the 23-24, 24-25 season, it's at $14.7 million
Yeah.
that they'll just have taken
That's
off their cap.
that's a lot of dead cap, man.
Like
That's a
the
lot.
Minnesota Wild are going to be playing like a decade ago salary cap hockey, pretty much. Like,
Yeah. And like, so sorry, what did you say? It was 14 point what?
14.743588.
I'm just gonna go 743. And then what's
Yeah.
Kaprizov's contract? Is it 9 or 9.5?
Oh god, Kaprizov is 9 flat.
Just 9. So
Yeah, until 25-26, which fun fact, those buyouts still will not be done yet, but that year
oh no, absolutely
it
not.
will drop down to 1.66.
So in that year that you were talking about there, just Kaprizov and the dead cap counts for 28% of the salary cap.
Yikes. You also have Matt Zuccarello, who's going to be in the last year of a $6 million contract that year, like $6 million being made that year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I wonder
Yeah,
if
they're in a tough position.
I wonder if they try to do something before that. He has a no move clause, but he is 34 right now. So I kind of wonder. Like currently,
Yeah.
Kirill Kaprizov, going back to that, is making 11% of the Minnesota Wild salary cap.
Damn.
Currently. So
yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
and I forgot
I'm
that
excited.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, this series I'm very excited to watch as it gets to game 6 and 7, because I fully expect it to go to 7 games. So
it just sucks that one of these teams has to get knocked out in the first round. It'd be so much better if it was the second round, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the second round's still going to be good too, because like one of those teams is going to play Colorado, most likely.
Yeah.
No, I'll knock on wood, but like, yeah, that's going to be another big.
They would.
Well, unless the Predators come back, is what I mean.
Oh, come on, dude, that's not happening. That's one what if that we do not need to worry about whatsoever.
No, I'm just saying that it's not guaranteed yet. Like it's all but guaranteed, but like.
Yeah.
I'm just saying so that people aren't like, what the fuck? They won the series already? I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Nashville forfeit, but yeah. But yeah, that's going to be another good series. Like, I'll take either one of those teams against Colorado, because that's going to be another good 7-game, just like heavy tilt.
Oh yeah, 100%. I kind of wonder though. You're saying 7 games. I'm kind of wondering honestly if it's 4 or 5. Because you're going to have these two teams bang each other up, and Colorado's going to be like, we've had the last week off just resting, healing, practicing, getting ready for either of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, see, Colorado's terrifying if they're doing anything within 5 games. So,
yeah. I think it's going to be pretty like whoever makes it to that second round, like, yeah, they're going to be beaten up, but they're going to kind of be rejuvenated, I think, when they're like, okay, game 1 against Colorado, like, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So I think either one of those teams are going to show up, and like there might be some, tired legs at the end of like the game, or game 3 might be a rough one, or something, like, just because it's been so many games in a row. But yeah, I fully expect that to be another good series, no matter how long it goes. So
yeah, 100%. I don't know. Are there any other series like specifically you want to like dive into, or that?
Well, we've talked about all the ones that happened. Oh no, we haven't talked. Well, no, you're kind of jumping around. I see.
Yeah, okay. I'm jumping around a little bit.
That's okay. Let's do we did Colorado, Nashville, Minnesota, St. Louis, Carolina, Boston. We could talk about
let's pick one more.
Leafs and Lightning.
Leafs and Lightning, sure.
Yeah, because that's a that one that got tied up today with, what was the final? Like
7-3.
6-3, right? 7-3, right?
7-3.
Yeah, I forgot there was the empty net there. Yeah, I mean, the Lightning came ready to play.
Empty net. What the fuck?
Yeah, like you rarely hear that, right? Like down 3 goals and you pull the goalie, but I mean, why not? Um,
Why not?
yeah, that was like it was kind of I didn't see much of game one in that series, but game four was kind of just like the reverse of that. It was
Just
the
Tampa in
Lightning being
control.
like, you know what, we're the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are gonna learn today. Whereas game one was like, we're the Toronto Maple Leafs. You're gonna learn today. So it like I think it just really shows how balanced this series is. Like you can have those close games, you can have those blowouts, but like it's equal on both sides.
100%. And especially the fact that both these teams like split at home, right? Or on the road, however you
Yeah.
want to look at it. Like this is going to be a fun series. And I think this is one of the few that I had going. I think I only had one. I think this was actually the only series I had going to 7 games.
Oh,
So
really? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I think
I
everything
think
else.
probably like,
I think everything else I had in 6. Well, I think 2 or 3 I had in 5. So
oh, wow. I think I had most of the series going to 7. I had Wild and Blues, um, Leafs and Lightning, Panthers and Capitals, and the Rangers and Penguins. So yeah, I had 4 of the 8 going to 7. I don't know. I just like 7 game series, so I think I'm a little
that's fair.
biased.
It's fun, right?
I
It all
love
comes
watching
down
a
to
game
one
7.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't care who's in a game 7. Like if there's a game 7 on, I'm
You're
watching
watching
it.
it. Yeah, 100%. So
Yeah,
because you know that's gonna just be all out like warfare almost. So
yeah. It could be like, you know what? I'm not going to say that because I don't want it. I don't want it to
don't wanna
happen.
jinx
Never
it.
mind. Yeah.
Oh man.
Basically, I was going to pick 2 teams that I absolutely hate, and
And
they're 2
yeah, it's not
rivals
gonna
of the
happen.
2 favorite teams, and I'm like, I can't say that is going to be a series and going to go to 7 games. I don't want
Yeah.
to put that out into the universe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. All right. I mean, I know that's only like half the playoff series going, but we are
Yeah,
going to try to keep this episode a little bit shorter, considering the last one was 2 hours. So
yeah.
we'll get into
I don't.
more obviously as we get to Wednesday's live episode and that kind of thing. So because there'll potentially
Yeah,
be some series wrapped up at that point as well.
yeah,
Nashville, please don't
yeah. Very
mess that up
possible.
for us, but please lose.
I don't really care to talk about Florida, Washington, and New York, Pittsburgh, but do you want to talk about the Calgary and Edmonton series just very briefly?
We can, sure. You can start off because I'm going to be very short
Okay.
with the Flames one because I don't overly want to talk about it too much, to be honest with you. I can give you the
Oh, I do.
I can tell you right away though, like just what the Flames need to do. But yeah, let's talk about Edmonton, LA quickly.
Okay.
Just
Well,
a heads up to everybody listening. As we're recording right now, it's the end of the second period, and the Kings are up 2-0. Just to give you an idea of where we're at as we're
yeah,
recording here. So we'll have to see if things change or whatnot. So
yeah. Well, I mostly want to talk about games 2 and 3. And I mean, we've already talked about game 1, so it doesn't make
you
sense.
want to talk about game 2
like,
and 3 because the Oilers just lit up the Kings.
absolutely just demolished them. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say. But like the depth scoring, the 5-on-5 scoring, the shorthanded goal, there was power play goals. Like it was everything that I wanted to see for the last like 3 years.
Well,
And it was all in 2 short games.
yeah,
So,
and it's kind of what I was talking to you about as well, like my thoughts on this series, like how it could go, right? Of like if the Kings with Kopitar and Deneau and Jonathan Quick's goaltending can shut down, those main producers of McDavid and Draisaitl, right? Then the Kings will have a lot easier of a time. But if the depth
yes.
scoring starts to come out and they're able to get around that, oh, we only have to shut down like 2 guys pretty much, then this could be the Oilers series. So I haven't really seen a whole lot of, I haven't actually seen any of game 4 here, but I don't really know what's going on. It looks like just looking from at like shots and whatnot, I would assume that the Kings are being successful right now in their shutdown style.
Yeah,
but
they're playing their type of game for sure. Yeah. It was just kind of like a good puck battle game for the first bit, but then as soon as the Kings went up, they started to really lock down defensively, which is what you do. You get the lead and then you play the boring hockey. Like that's what the Kings do. So, yeah, I mean, I expect things to open up in the third. but yeah. Oh, I want things to open up in the third, but it's the way that they're playing. Like this is like what LA is known for. So I would kind of expect them to keep it close. So without jinxing my team too much. But did you hear what Todd McClellan, coach of the Kings, said for his post game after Game 3?
No, I didn't, but I'm kind of curious because he also did coach the Oilers just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I'm going to play it real quick because it's just a short little piece, but
okay.
Let me make sure my volume's up. And
you know what? We can do this really quick tonight. I can summarize it all up for you. We can all go home. We weren't any good. We're really disappointed. We got trapped playing their game. You can ask me about individuals. I'll give you the same answer for all of them. They weren't any good. And we have to regroup tomorrow. Grunny didn't play because he had an injury. Anybody have anything else? Good night.
Nobody dares ask another question after that. Anybody have anything else? You obviously couldn't see the video, but his face is like, if anybody else asks me a fucking question,
I will lose it. Yeah.
I will rip your tongue out and shove it up your ass. Like,
oh man, Todd McClellan and Daryl Sutter being the kings of very concise answers and just not wasting anybody's time. So
yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to shout out World Hockey Report for posting that, another show on the Hockey Podcast Network here. So yeah, I'm sure there was other versions of the clip available, but that was the one that made it to the Edmonton Oilers subreddit. So it's pretty cool. Hockey Podcast Network gets around.
It does, yeah.
Flames in Dallas.
What the fuck?
I'm curious about your thoughts because there's nothing more than about the playoffs that I love than lurking in the evenings in the Calgary Flames subreddit, not trolling because like I'm not that type of person, but just going and being like, how like on edge is this entire fan base?
Oh, the fan base is, dude, there is no balancing act of the Calgary Flames fan base. It's either at an all-time high or at an all-time low. Like I'm reading through a plot, like replies and whatnot. Like it's after like the second period where the game is tied, and like people are in the comments like on Twitter and whatnot, which obviously like Twitter doesn't encapsulate an entire fan base or that, but it gives you like a decent idea. I feel like for the most part, considering how many Flames fans are on Twitter that I see and whatnot. And it's just like it's tied going into the third period of Game 3 in a series that at the time was tied 1-1. And people are just like, yeah, series is over. Dallas takes it. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about here? Yeah. And like, even after the game, there was even more of that. And I'm like, it's 2-1. Like, yes, they only have 2 games to win. I get that. They're halfway to winning the series, but it's only Game 3 of potentially 7 games. Like, let's tone it down here a second. That being said,
I'm glad that you're like a little bit more reasonable than most Flames fans, but I do enjoy seeing the lows.
I'm cautiously optimistic still about the Flames. I feel like this is a team that's still built for it. However, they gotta fucking play like it if they're gonna get past Dallas, which everybody, and I mean everybody, Sportsnet, ESPN, TNT, doesn't matter what broadcast like you're on or that, everybody picked the Flames to win this series. I didn't see one person pick Dallas. This could be the biggest upset, actually. I feel like even more, well, maybe not even more so than if Nashville did it over Colorado, but that's also not even a possibility, right? I don't think.
Well, never know, but
come on, the Nashville Predators are not pulling out 4 straight with third string goal. I
highly doubt it, but like, you never know.
You never know.
You just never know.
But it's like, okay, it's Game 3, but at the same time, what I've seen over the last 2 games from the Calgary Flames is they're being forced to take shots more from the back, right, by the blue line and whatnot. They're not getting into the slot. They're kind of pulling in Anaheim Ducks here a bit, but they're being forced to. But that being said, though, you can still work with that if you generate traffic up front. There has been very little. It's been about as barren as the number 2 highway coming from Calgary at 2 a.m. Like, it is just there's just nothing going there. Jake Ottinger has been playing fantastic hockey. Don't get me wrong, but it's also a little bit easier when you have nothing in front of you stopping a shot from the blue line. So
Yeah.
if the Flames want to come back into this series, like Monday night's game is a must win for them, I feel like. And I don't know, like Johnny Gaudreau had talked about, just the mentality of the team going into the 2019 playoffs against the Colorado Avalanche. And then it almost feels like it could line up actually with the bubble where the Calgary Flames played the Dallas Stars as well, thinking that like everybody thinking, hey, like they should win, right? And then Dallas beats them and goes on to the Cup Finals right against Tampa. But he was talking about we had a bad mindset going into that of, just like we were like pretty much like top shit. And they're like, we got it. Like we changed that. Right. And we're keeping a strong mentality going into that. Right. This is really going to be a test of that, I think. And they have to win Monday night's game, I feel like, or it could be done, I feel like, which really sucks. So, because this is a team that should go far. And I was even, I am on record on like Flames Unfiltered and on Twitter and whatnot, saying that I would have actually preferred. Now, mind you, this was also before UC Saros got hurt, but I was saying I would actually prefer to play the Dallas, like for the Calgary Flames to play the Dallas Stars, because you have to worry about their top line and Jake Ottinger, but the rest of it should be fine, right?
Yeah.
And the Dallas Stars are playing a lot more of a complete game all around than the Calgary Flames are. It's not good. So
yeah, like even though their second, third, and fourth lines aren't, phenomenal and like doing a bunch of fancy stuff, they're not bleeding chances either. Like they're basically just kind of like, it's not keep away, but like they're either playing keep away or they're like, okay, let's just keep the shots to the outside. And then, okay, first line's on the ice. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all.
I forget
and
who,
Jake Ottinger as well.
Yeah.
You're right. He's been awesome.
I was listening to like 2 or 3 different podcasts today, so I don't remember who said it or that, but they were basically saying like the Dallas Stars are out Daryl Sutter in the Calgary Flames.
Yeah.
And from a Flames perspective, that's annoying as fuck, and they got to stop that. Or you got to learn to play around that if you want any chance of, because like this is a team that should be going deep, realistically, right? Like from an objective perspective, right? Like removing myself from the equation, right, of being a Flames fan, this Calgary Flames team should be a team that goes far into the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at the stats, like where they finished in the standings.
Exactly.
They had 40 like.
Or 40 goal
scorers. Yeah, I almost said 43 goal scorers, and I was like, that's not right. 40 goal scorers.
That's a lot of players.
Markstrom had 9 shutouts, 10 if you include game 1.
Yeah.
Like, in what world does that team lose out in the first round?
Yeah.
Obviously a cruel one if you're a Flames fan, but like it's insane. I mean,
if you want to hear the maybe not overreaction, but that heightened kind of downside, right? Like it's the all-time high, the all-time high, or the all-time low kind of thing. If you want to hear the all-time low side of it, it's still a very entertaining episode to listen to, and I love the guy to death. James Johnson over on the Barn Burner Hockey Podcast. He's been doing the game recaps for that show. Audie James has been doing Game Over with the SDPN now. But he's still on the show and everything like that. But he just can't do those game recaps right after because he's doing that show. But so James just went on a massive like multi-tangent thing for about 45 minutes talking about game 3. And I mean, like I can tend to swear a fair bit on this show, and he's coming for the record of most bombs on an episode for sure. So with that one,
nice.
So I'd be curious to go back actually and like see how many times he said like some swear word or that. So because he was not happy about that result. Let's say that. So
yeah, I also just wanted to say I did a hot takes bracket for a league that I'm in, and just for fun, I put the Stars winning the series 4-0. And then obviously Calgary won the first game, but you could still edit your bracket up until like Wednesday when games started.
Oh my god, you make
so
it 5 games for Dallas.
I made it Stars in 5. And if that hits, I don't even care like how wrong the rest of the bracket was. Like,
You're
if
just
that
like,
hits,
oh my
that's
God, I
all
hit
I
that.
need to be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, realistically, what like who voted like unless it was like a hot takes one like you did, right? Like where
Yeah.
it's probably ridiculous. It's Oilers fans who are just like having a laugh of, oh yeah, the Flames aren't going to get past Dallas, and Dallas Stars fans who are like, we're going to beat the Calgary Flames because we're Stars fans, right? Everybody else had Calgary picked to take this series, so it'll be a massive massive disappointment, I think, if the Flames don't get past the first round of this this year. Fun fact, they've only gotten past the first round once since 2004. The Calgary Flames are the Toronto Maple Leafs of the West. Honestly, they absolutely are.
Yeah, I was going to say the third type of person that would put the Dallas Stars winning that series over the Flames is like one of those petting zoo animals that just like they put like two jerseys in the cage and like two like treats on each of them, and then like whichever treat they go for is like
the corgi with the two baskets as they toss the ball to him. Like the videos I'm talking about, right? Or like that corgi specifically. That corgi had Dallas winning this series.
Did he actually?
Yeah, I think it was in 7, but I was like, oh fuck.
I mean, it could happen in 7. You never know.
Yeah.
So
that'd be unfortunate.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about either one of the other two series, or are you?
I'm good. I think we can save those for now. I still really haven't had a chance, honestly, to watch much of the Panthers and Capitals.
Yeah, me neither. So.
But definitely go check out those shows on the network there for that. And same with the Rangers and Penguins. I'm kind of just surprised to see the Penguins are leading this series. It's only 2-1, right? It's only been 3 games. But man, the Penguins
it's the
are
same thing with the Bruins, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not dead until they're dead. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I forget how you put it. It was way better than whatever I just said, but same sort of sentiment. So yeah. Okay. Well, let's take a quick break here, and then on the other side, we'll wrap up with some listener questions. And you said you had something else for What's Quacking as well, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that will happen on the other side of this.
Hello, hockey fans. My name is Nick Berlansky, host of the Tip of the Iceberg podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network. My co-host Nick Horwat and I talk all things Pittsburgh Penguins, from top news to game analysis and other unconventional hockey talk. We've got you covered. New episodes every Monday. Tune in at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcast from. And let's go Pens.
All right, so we had a couple questions sent in from Cody Spink, who's at Spinco 1221. I think I'm saying that username correctly. Okay, we'll start with this question here. This might be a pretty quick one. He asks, does Zegras change his number next season, or does he stick with number 46?
I don't know. Before I answer that, what number did he wear like in
like with the US team?
Like before? Yeah, like with
I
everybody
believe
else.
with the US team he wore number 9, which is retired for Paul Kariya.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe.
13,
number 9.
It looks like is what he. 13. It looks like he used in university and in the AHL. This is from a Reddit post like a year ago, but
yeah, I know 13 was a number that a lot of people were throwing around for a bit as well. So I'm thinking potentially 13, but I'm kind of wondering, he's had, like 2 NHL seasons, like a season and a half, right? Because he didn't play a whole lot or as much of last year compared to this year, obviously. But he's almost kind of becoming synonymous now with number 46. That being said, though, it doesn't mean that players can't change their numbers, that kind of thing, right? Like Jack Eichel did it in Buffalo, even, right? He had number 15 for however many years before he swapped to 9. But I kind of wonder, like, especially with so many people buying Zegras jerseys and that, kind of wonder if he sticks with number 46, right? Just kind of, it's a unique number because it's not a number that you normally really think of too many players for. So like that can almost kind of be its own.
Yeah, I honestly could not name a single other player that wore number 46. Like, I'm sure it's happened. And I mean, it's probably like a common rookie number, but I can't think of anybody where I'm like, oh, that player I know they wore 46, you know?
David Krejci wore number 46 for the Boston Bruins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wore that
yeah,
number.
That was just like his choice, right?
Yeah, and I think wore that number for the Stanley Cup win in 2011.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's a good call.
Let's take a look here. Famous NHL players who wore number 46. Jared Spurgeon is another one.
Okay.
With the Minnesota Wild, the current captain. Roman Polak is another name I'm recognizing here.
Okay, yeah.
Curtis Glencross. I don't remember who exactly for. Doesn't say here. Yeah, there's not really too many names I'm recognizing. So
okay. I mean, there's a few there, like you said, Krejci,
yeah,
Spurgeon. I mean, I know Glenn Cross from his time with the Flames.
Yeah,
hated him for his time with the Flames, more accurately. But who else did you say? There was another one that you said.
It
was the first one.
I think I closed out the tab. Jared Spurgeon. Okay. That's who it was.
No, the other one, the one before Spurgeon.
Krejci.
No, the one after Krejci. It might have been after Spurgeon. I don't remember. There was another one you said though.
Roman Polak.
Oh yeah, that's not who. I thought you said another one though, like another one that was like an obvious name. I need to look it up. It's going to bother me. Anyways, the short answer is, I think if he does change, it would be to number 13. It would probably be 9 if it wasn't retired, but yeah. Maybe I went back. Maybe it was Spurgeon that you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I'd say he might change to 13, but because I don't think he cares. Like, oh, people already bought my jersey with 46. I guess I better not change. Like, he's going to be like, well, I want to wear 13. I don't give a fuck what you think. So
he could pull I think when Jack Eichel swapped to number 9, he was like, well, if you want to swap your jersey to be number 9 instead of 15, like he would pay out of his pocket for it or something like that. Like he had some deal worked out so that like people could do it for free.
Sweet.
So because he knew that people
cool.
invested money into a jersey of his. So
yeah,
but
yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he keeps it just because it's kind of becoming synonymous with him. So it's something a little bit more unique. Yeah. So
I mean, he did do like 3 sweet plays this season in that jersey.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. On top of, like the bit he was able to do last year too. So
yeah.
But, okay, one more question here. Do you guys think the Ducks make a trade potentially for Connor Garland on the Vancouver Canucks? Connor Garland this last season with the Vancouver Canucks played 77 games, scoring 19 goals and 52 points, and is currently on he just finished the first year of a 5-year contract that's just south of $5 million per year. I think he would be a good potentially on the Ducks. As like we were just talking about winger depth and whatnot, he would definitely be a great add. Young guy too, right at 26, like just freshly turned 26, but my only thing is that he is a division rival. You don't see those trades happening too much. That's the thing that's holding me back from, Connor Garland is a possibility, right? It makes it harder when it's a division rival and like you're going to be playing that team for a good chunk of your season. So
yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. But I think I could see us being interested in Garland, but given what the Canucks need, I don't know
if we can
if
offer
we
that.
have that piece.
Yeah.
So, or the pieces, I guess, because they're more than one piece away. So,
Yeah.
and they have, I looked up, they have 13 million in projected cap space for next season.
Oh, so they got some room to work with too.
Yeah, they really have no reason to ship guys out, right?
Yeah.
Like the only guy that they would have to re-sign is Brock Besser as an RFA. Everybody else, and potentially Halak as a UFA, but they could
that'll be a cheap contract. Yeah.
And it's, if they do bring him back, it's not going to be a lot. He's currently making $1.5 million. So like that's, I feel like they can fill the holes they need in free agency. They just have to re-sign Brock Besser. I don't really think they're looking to move anybody out, honestly.
Yeah. And just south of $5 million for 52 points in a season that didn't start out great, right? That picked up for everybody a little bit later on. That's a pretty good deal potentially, especially being that young, where he's like just starting to hit his like full stride and whatnot. Yeah, as great as it would be for the Duck, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. So at least in a deal with Vancouver specifically. So
yeah,
but
yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks Cody for the questions. If anybody else has any questions, you don't have to wait for a prompt or that. Please just DM us on Instagram or Twitter at Quack Report Pod. And as long as I'm checking the DMs and that kind of thing, if I see it, we'll bring it on the episode. So
yeah, send it in. Send it.
Yeah. So okay. So I got one piece here for our usual what's quacking of stuff from the internet or whatnot. Got an Instagram post here from today, Sunday, May 8th, Mother's Day, from the one and only Justin Bieber, who has a very touching and relatable Mother's Day posts, where he posts, if you're watching the video, Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. Great. God damn it.
Fun stuff.
Give me 2 seconds here. Carter, if you want to ramble about something for a moment. Something. Anything.
Well, you brought up Justin Bieber. First of all, that jersey that Justin Bieber made for the Leafs, or made with the Leafs, awful. Not a great jersey. Cool concept. I like the Toronto saying that I like. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's the reversible aspect of it. Like, you can't have reversible like stuff, clothes.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Okay, so I've seen pictures. I haven't seen one in person yet of the authentics for this.
Yeah,
it doesn't look great reversed. However,
yeah,
this is the one time that the Fanatics version, like the replicas, is superior actually, because when you flip it inside out, you don't have like stitching like just showing, right? That's not supposed to be normally. You don't have a fight strap just hanging off your back on the outside, right? Like the Fanatics one actually is legit reversible and looks a lot better. So the Toronto side of that jersey, though, be like for as an alternate or that sort of thing, if that's what they're going to do with it, I'm not entirely sure yet. They've kind of been up and whatever with that. I like that though. Actually, it works. It's something a little bit more modern. It's definitely for a younger demographic, like our age and younger, I would say for sure. Seeing it up close as well, kind of having like the subtle Toronto skyline silhouette within the two blue bands is really cool. I like the jersey.
Like some
personally.
of the details,
it's a little different for Toronto. So
and I'm on record of saying I enjoy different jerseys, are like trying something new. I just think this one was a swing and a miss.
That's fair.
Just basically on the reversible part.
Yeah, the reversible aspect. If it was just a Toronto jersey, it would be great.
It would be okay.
Okay, so I'm not able to
get to go here?
Yeah, I'm not able to pull the actual image up, unfortunately, without like stopping the stream and all that kind of stuff. So I can read the caption and tell you what the picture is. The picture is of a young Justin Bieber, and I'm talking like the Bieber haircut and everything like that. Young Justin Bieber with his mother taking a picture with the Stanley Cup with the caption, "Happy Mother's Day, Mom. We're going to bring back Lord Stanley's Cup to Toronto this year, and it will be beautiful." 100% that dude just took a Mother's Day post and made it about hockey.
Yeah. He was like, I want to post about the Leafs today, but it's Mother's Day. So how can I combine
never
these two
related more
together?
to Justin Bieber in my life. Of like, somehow I'll accidentally make this about hockey.
Yeah. You mean to tell me you didn't relate to him when he was like 13 and 14 years old and came out with Baby, and you weren't like, this song just speaks to my soul?
No, okay, personally, I like Justin Bieber's like stuff, say from like the last 5-6 years. I like that kind of stuff. Everything before that, though, I'm like, this is very tailored to a young demographic, and even as the young demographic at the time, because I'm pretty sure we're the same age as him, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty close, anyways. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not a crazy fan of this. Like, Ludacris singing about meeting some girl on the playground at a bowling alley is great meme potential, like all these years later and whatnot. But at the time, it was just not for me. I think part of it as well was like my little sister, who's like 8 years younger than me, was a massive Justin Bieber fan, like did go to one of his concerts and whatnot, and like had there's the concert DVD documentary, the Never Say Never, was on repeat in the family minivan. So like there was easily a point that just being around that movie so much, I could recite so much of it. So I think that kind of like fed into it a bit. But everything for myself, everything from after his Comedy Central roast, I've really enjoyed, actually. Like, it's stuff that I'll just throw on and whatnot. Like, or like if it's in the rotation, I'm not skipping it going like, oh, Justin Bieber. I'm like, oh, sweet. Yeah, new Justin Bieber. Awesome.
Yeah. Oftentimes, like if it just comes on because it's like a playlist that I put on shuffle. If it comes on, I don't even really know. And then I'm like, oh, this is like kind of okay.
You realize
like,
later,
and it's like Justin Bieber. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's all right.
Yeah.
So
because he sounds like an adult now. So
yeah, that's probably the big part. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's, singing about adult things.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit more relatable than Ludacris talking about meeting a young girl in the playground. That sounds really bad, honestly.
Yeah.
It sounds bad.
With no context. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
I think Ludacris on the playground is a great place to end it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I know we both got to get up early tomorrow. So I think now is a good time to get out of here just on that as well. So,
yeah, exactly.
So Nate, where can they tweet at you their favorite Justin Bieber song?
Yeah, why not, actually? You can tweet that to me at Tatenamas, TATENHOMAS on Twitter. It's the best place to do it.
Yeah. And you can follow myself at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. I want to plug this as well. I will be doing a watch along for the Oilers and Kings game number 5, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, wherever you are. Those are the times. That'll be on the THP and YouTube channel. It was a lot of fun last time. We had some regulars from the podcast here join in, and so that was really cool. Some people that I haven't seen on a live stream before too, but were regular listeners of just like the audio version. So it was cool to, meet some other listeners there too. So definitely come on and just hang out, or, drop a like on the stream and say hi. It's a blast. And drop any questions you want to. But again, that'll be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And the show you can follow at Quack Report Pod, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. I always forget Twitch. Thank you guys very much for listening to the Monday edition. We will be back on Wednesday for a live stream.